What's going on, guys and gals? Trey back with G Squared. We wanted to do a little quick snippet video of the Romeo Zero, these Romeo optics brought to us by Sig Sauer. No, we're not sponsored by Sig Sauer. No, they're not sending us free optics or anything of the nature. And even if they were, we would give you an honest review, a testimonial, if you will. So with these Sig optics, we've had two optics now, these Romeo Zeros that have not zeroed appropriately. We've sent them back on warranty. They've sent us new optics, and those new optics have seemingly performed fine. We've also had other optics that we've ordered, Romeo Zeros, never had a problem. We've had some of you comment that tell us, like this one individual comment, he said he's had 3 individuals that he knows of and or are friends that have had failures within 1,000 rounds of shooting in these optics. Now, I believe that. I was mentioning in another video how I think that, you know, it would make sense in your mind, logically speaking, that it would fail when you're out at the range, not whenever you're mounting it, right? So our mounting failure experience that we had, we mounted this optic on this G43X. I was super excited about getting the gun, excited about being able to find a low budget, cost-effective solution when it comes to an optic system. Found it in this Romeo Zero, and not only did I find a low cost, low budget, but found an optic that would mount factory to the slide itself. Didn't have to have a plate, didn't have to have a $50 plate. I've talked about how that really grinds my gears in today's market, how you have to have a optic plate in order to mount it, and you got to spend money on that optic plate. They don't send it to you. But with that being said, Romeo Zero mounted up, mounted nicely, and was actually zeroed until we took it off, because we decided that we wanted to put this metal shroud around the optic. Not an unreasonable request. In fact, in today's world, a lot of people are more wishy-washy than they used to be, so it would be expected, in my opinion, that an optic could be removed and put back on. So we did that. When we put it back on, not zeroed. Not only was it not zero, we couldn't get it to zero. We couldn't do it to save our life, seemingly. So what did we do? We contacted SIG. They sent us, we had to send the optic to them. They sent us back one that was good to go. It was functioning. I mounted it on, that's the optic you're looking at right now on this 43X. And we just shot it. It shot fine. Here's some range clip of it.
Well, maybe the mag won't fall out on me this time. I'm not even exactly sure what happened there. There it is.
So we shot it, it did really well, and I enjoyed shooting it. I do think that, you know, I always question myself. I'm being hard on budget-friendly equipment, but the fact of the matter is that if you're gonna have an optic and you're gonna put it out on the market, especially in a micro compact version, you know that people are gonna be carrying that optic for self-defense, so make it reliable. If you can't make it reliable at an affordable cost, and don't make it at all, is the way I view it, because people are gonna be carrying this optic. People are going to be using this for self-defense on an everyday type level and situation. So the way that we tested them today, we have a Canic subcompact. A reliable handgun and a questionable optic, if you're questioning it, will always help alleviate and reveal some of those questions and answer them. So in this case, we had the question of whether or not it'd perform. We put it on one of the most reliable guns in the entire market, a Canic, and it performed. It did well.
We're about 14, 15 yards here. Everybody always asks how far out you're shooting. It's about 14, 15 yards. I'm gonna drop it a few times. Again, we don't want to waste a whole lot of ammo on this. We've already done a review on this gun in the past, several of them actually. We did one with the Holosun, one with just the Canic itself with the Zero that failed us, and we also did a tabletop on the gun. So it's been one of our most popular, most watched guns on the channel. So we've got plenty of yeah, you know. Anyway, gun safe, obviously slides back. Gonna drop it from, well, I'm gonna drop it accidentally, I guess. Drop it from about 3 foot. Drop it on the other side, same. And then I'm gonna kind of forcefully drop it on the optic itself, and we'll let Trey shoot it. I mean, again, I'm not trying to damage my firearm, so if you guys want to laugh at us, that's fine, for not, you know, punishing it more than that. But I don't plan on dropping my firearms on the concrete. And the good thing about having co-witnessing sights, that even if it were to fail, you still have your irons, or in the case of Glock, you got some plastics.
Some plastics. Yep, that's off. That's off in a big way.
Now you see what's going on down there. He didn't even care to see if it was on or not. He was just rapid firing.
No, that was through the iron sight. So the optic is way left. The red dot is.
No kidding.
So it's not on anymore.
Let me see here. You hold
So
this.
that's a test. Succession, I suppose. Succession's not the right word. Bad vocab.
Let's see what we got here. It is, ain't it?
Sure is. So don't drop your Romeo.
Yeah, that would be a bad idea. Wow.
You know, try to make some adjustments and come back.
Yeah, let's do that. So we remounted this thing. Again, it does not have a plate, and I know that a lot of people say, oh well, it'll move around if it doesn't have a plate. Under normal recoil, it did not move around. Obviously, me dropping it on the optic kind of forcefully, it did move around. You could literally see that the entire thing had adjusted. That might be my fault, because I kind of remember putting this on there. I was in a hurry that day, just wanted to get it mounted. What actually had happened is I took the 407K off and I put it on another firearm, and I was just trying to put something on here to replace this, and I don't think that I torqued it right. I don't know that to be true, but it came off fairly easy whenever I was taking it loose. So we got it torqued to the correct specs. We got it zeroed back in. At least the dot did move and it did zero back in. So I'm gonna take about 3 shots just to be sure I'm right, that it is zeroed in. And then we're gonna do the same, drop it on the optic test and see. And hopefully I just did not have it torqued well enough. Again, I don't want to trash these things. I want them to work. They're budget friendly. And we did drop them on the, obviously the 48, the 43X, and then of course the Canic Rival as well. And none of those had plates, and they did fine. They didn't move around. Everything was fine. So I'm thinking maybe this was my fault, but we're gonna find out, because we're not gonna lie to you guys about anything. What happened? Well, okay. So I'm pulling it a little bit, because if I take my time, I hit dead center the target, so it's definitely on. So, but man, we've been out here for about 2 hours now, man, and we've shot everything from 10mm to 3 or 4 9s, and got some 45 long Colts, and so we're getting that you know, that trigger shake, or that gun shake, we might want to call it. So I'm gonna do what I think. Well, I'm just gonna drop it like I did before on all 3 sides, and I'm gonna see that if the optic moves around any at all. You can't spec it too much, or torque it rather too much, because it is plastic. You don't want to crack the thing, but I torqued it to the specs that that SIG recommends with my fat wrench. So we're gonna do the, what would this be, the left side drop. We're gonna do just like before, the right side drop, and then I'm gonna drop it directly on the optic itself. And it does not look like it moved. Looks like it's still on. I think maybe last time, did I kind of forcefully do it last time?
Yeah, you got aggressive.
Okay, well, let's get aggressive again. Okay, it's still on. It may just have been, I might not have had it torqued right. That could be my fault. I don't get to talk smack about nobody today, but we shall see. I didn't have very many rounds in there, but yeah, I pulled it a little bit left, but I know that that's on me because every time I take my time and pull the trigger slow and concentrate, it hits right dead center where I'm aiming. So since Trey didn't really get to shoot it with the optic on point anyway, I'm gonna let him wrap it out here and take a few shots. I got, looks like 9 rounds or something in there. And let's just see, since he didn't get to enjoy the shooting, he just, you know, did what he does best and rapid fired.
You know how it is. It's just rapid fire here, right?
No. You got to make sure your optics on. It's definitely on, because the other time we shot with optics, you was shooting low with those as well, and we know they were on. But right, you did hit in the center several times, so
I think it's on.
I mean, it's right in front of the front sight like it was before. So you know, I don't know. I'm still like, you know, for me, I think the jury's still out. I think the jury's still out for me, to be honest. It is, it was very loose, I will say that. And like I said, I want to like these optics. I'm gonna try to put this dead above the one in the very center, because it ain't quite center. So if I go above it, that would be dead center. I'd say it hit right dead above. Well, just, it almost hit the same spot, but it's definitely on. Admittedly, when I went to loosen it up to move it, they did just, I mean, I hardly had to put anything on it to get it loose. I think that was my fault. I dropped it aggressively on both sides and twice on top the second time around, and it is holding right where it was at in front of that front sight. So I don't know. I'm still not going to be able to trust it just yet, I don't think.
We have a Glock 43X. We have a Canic Rival.
So since this is my gun, I know I told you Trey was shooting it. I'm gonna drop it, because if anything happens to it, you know, Trey can't blame me, or I can't blame Trey. I'm gonna drop it dead on the, like this, if I can. Again,
ooh,
we're about 3 foot here, and try to bring it down with a little bit of force. And we're gonna see. Again, we typically don't do crap like this. We don't like to damage our firearms. I don't think that will, of course, but we've had so much trouble with that Romeo Zero. If I'm gonna carry these things, I am most certainly gonna have to really trust it. So
that kind of made me cringe when you dropped it right there. I mean, that was from a good little height.
So Trey's gonna put a couple of mags through this thing. We got to conserve ammo today because we're trying to shoot a lot of guns for you guys. But he's gonna put a few, maybe 2 mags through it, see if it's still on point, talk a little bit about the gun. But
I'm not feeling good about it.
About what?
About it being on point.
Oh, okay. Well, just remember it's got that stupid 60 something MOA circle around it, so you're trying to concentrate on the dot. Oh my God.
I think it might be on. Smokes. I love this gun. This might be one of my favorite pistols that
Well,
I've ever shot.
He says that, but he never carries it. It's never in his truck, never on his nightstand.
It stays on my nightstand.
He was hitting that spot right there so many times in a row that I thought it was gonna put a hole through our steel.
That was fun.
But so obviously the Romeo's still holding 0. Now we did have actually literally while we're filming this video, someone commented how's the Romeo Zero's doing. So
not bad.
We're definitely checking them out. Well, he was talking about 1,000 rounds. Somebody put 1,000 round. Now, you know, we just don't have that much ammo to put 1,000 rounds. Maybe 1,000 rounds between all 4 of them today, but
I love this gun. This thing is so awesome and fun to shoot. If you haven't already picked up one of these, or at least shot one at your local range.
Where are you at?
Yeah, what you doing? What rock you living under?
You need to get one of those.
That's the truth. It's so much fun. Like, if you have a red dot on a gun that's already awesome, perfect in many ways. I mean, you know, nothing's quote unquote perfect, I suppose, in life, but this thing is as close as I know how to get. Wow, that was impressive. I mean, I'm happy about this Romeo Zero Elite. To be honest with you, I didn't know that they had the Elite version. I didn't know.
I don't even know what the heck that means, because
I don't either. I mean,
I'm pretty sure that the other ones we shot today were the Elite as well, and I thought it just simply meant that it had the shroud over it. But that's the only one of the 3 I bought that has the circle around the dot. So
right.
I don't know. Maybe there is something different about it. Maybe we'll check it out.
They're all made of plastic.
Huh?
They're all made of plastic.
They are.
God, that was fun.
I don't know if any casings have hit the glass yet. I guess we'll have to wait till we get home and clean them up and find out if they're scratched or not. I know that was one of the issues we had with one of the other ones we had, but I think I'm gonna put 1 shot, because again, we're trying to conserve ammo today. I think we have some activity back there.
Some animal not happy.
We might get to test out the red dot on something breathing today. I don't know what the heck that was. Maybe you don't put so many rounds down there we cut a tree in half or something. I don't know what the heck's going on. I'm gonna shoot 1 shot just to see if it is still on. Well, maybe let me do 2. Yeah, I think it's good. I always say you're only going to shoot 1 shot with this rifle, but I tell you, this thing is so much fun to shoot. You find yourself not wanting to stop shooting. Anyway, man, I tell you, no way. We've got 2 of these, and as well of a plethora of other Canics that we have. This is probably one of my favorites for sure. If you haven't picked this up yet and you're doubting it, stop doubting, go get it. Promise you will not regret it.
And a Glock 48.
I want to love this optic, I really do, because you know, it's a cheap option, very low profile, these factory plastic sights that co-witness with it. But we've had some issues. I've had one As I mentioned on the SC video, you can go back and check that one out. Maybe Trey put a link up. And we had some really major malfunctions in so much that I ended up just sending the thing back. Maybe I chunked it in the woods and shot it, I'm not sure. But I vowed I would never buy another one. But I did. I went back. One thing I've noticed is that they've added these protective shrouds on here that kind of comes with it. I don't know if that's to protect the glass. I know one thing on the other one that I had that gave us so many problems, the glass scratched up. If you ran your finger across it, you know, while you were racking it or something, it was that sensitive, it seemed. And so I have one on this one. Trey's got one on his 43X. We put one on the SC again. And I even have one on the Canic Rival we're gonna do later today. But anyway, I'm gonna drop this, I don't know, maybe from 3 foot up or something on this table here. I don't wanna damage my gun. It is unloaded, as you can see. So I'm not gonna drop it on the ground or anything, but we just kind of wanna do that to see if it'll still hold Zero. Like I said, we do have it torqued properly and to the proper specs, so that shouldn't be an issue. So I'd say that's probably about 3 foot. You know, again, it is a soft table, but most of the time if you do drop a gun, it's probably going to be on the soft ground somewhere. So we're just kind of doing that to see if it'll hold Zero. We know that it was on point with me shooting, so we're going to let Trey shoot the gun, and I guess he's going to go for the taller target there. And
I have eagerly been anticipating today, mostly because, so as most of you know, we come out to the range one time and we shoot a good many of guns just because it works out best for our schedule. But I've eagerly been anticipating today more than most range days because of this Romeo. I'm looking forward to shooting this Glock because it's slim and I really like the way it's designed, more so than, I don't know what it is. I mean, I put them side by side, but my 43X and this 48 are the exact same width, but the 48 seems slim, probably because it's in a much larger platform, I would guess. That'd really be the only, it's probably playing tricks on my mind. But I'm really looking forward to shooting this, so I'm sorry to not talk about it more. I'm gonna have to start shooting.